Hi, my name's Chase, I'm from Elements Elite, and today I'd like to teach you a little bit about myofascial release. Basically what we're going to do is try and stretch out the fascia which surrounds the muscles, try and stretch that out a bit so that eventually we can do a bit of a stretch afterwards, but the first thing you need to do is stretch that fascia. You can do it with one of these foam rollers. The other way you can do it is by getting a massage, but if you haven't got anyone to give you a massage and you want to do this, I'd recommend probably doing this at least once a day. So it's a great way to do it on your own with one of these rollers. So what we'll do, I'll show you a few myofascial release techniques for the lower legs, and we'll go from there. So to start with, we'll try and stretch the fascia out around the lower leg here. So we're going for the calf area. So start that roller just down the bottom there at the end of that Achilles tendon, and basically you just want to roll yourself forward over the whole length of that muscle there. So rolling that backwards and forwards, just let the weight of your leg sit on there. What you can do is you can externally rotate your leg to get the outside edges there, and you can internally rotate it as well. So you can roll that around, and what we're doing, just stretching that fascia, just let the weight of your leg sit on there. If you really feel like that's doing nothing, you can put a bit more weight, you can sit your other leg on there as well, add a bit more weight, and if you find that that's a bit much as it is, you can sort of lift your leg up there as well and not put quite as much pressure on there. So spend a good couple of minutes backwards and forwards. What I would recommend doing before you do these, make sure that you are warm. So you can have a nice warm shower or go for a bit of a ride on a bike, a jog, anything like that. Just make sure that your muscles are warm and they have been moving. Alternatively to that, you can put a heat pack on there as well. So if you particularly wanted to sort of do one area here, you could sort of sit a heat pack on there for a few minutes and get the blood moving, get everything sort of vasodilated, and that'll help as well. So a couple of minutes on each area, so we've spent a bit of time there. What you can also do too, if you're particularly sore in one area, you might find you find a trigger point there. So what a trigger point is particularly tight area, some people call them knots. You'll feel it if you've got one there. If you find one of those areas, what you can do is you can just sit that there, just relax your leg, right over that knot that you've got, that trigger point, and just sort of hold it there until the pain disappears. You don't really want to go past about a 7 out of 10 in the pain threshold, so 0 is no pain at all and 10 is extremely painful. Sort of go to around about 7, see how that feels, sit it on there and just sort of wait for that pain to release. Once the pain goes back down to about a 2, you'll find you've removed that trigger point, so that's a great way to release them as well. So what we can do then, after you've done that lower leg, move on to the hamstring. So what you can do, get that roller, just sit it right under your bum there. You've got a little bone that sits right up under there. So start with that roller right up under there, and then just roll yourself backwards and forwards. So what we're doing is exactly the same thing, rolling yourself backwards and forwards. Again, you can use more or less pressure depending on what you need. You can put your other leg on there too to add a bit more pressure. When you're doing these too, be careful when you're rolling not to put too much pressure as you go over the knee area there. So you've got what's called the popliteal fossa, which sort of sits up under here. You don't want to put too much pressure in there. There's not a lot going on there, so you don't really need to. So backwards and forwards there, and as I said, you want to spend a couple of minutes here. You've got a few different muscles under there. So you've got your hamstrings, and there's 3 muscles there. So you can rotate your leg inwards and outwards just to target those different muscles there. Once you've got those ones there, we can do the glutes. So gluteal muscles. Just sitting on the roller there, what you can do, the side that's actually on the roller, you can sit that foot on the other knee, and what you're doing is you're actually opening up sort of the muscles there. So you've got a few different muscles there. Mostly what we're targeting there at the moment, we've got gluteus medius, and we've also got piriformis there as well. So you can sort of rotate yourself around. You'll find once you get the right angle, you will feel particularly piriformis, that opens piriformis up there. And you will feel that one, so that's a great one there. If you're particularly tight through there, if you're doing a lot of work, sled work or anything where you're particularly using your glutes quite a lot, so that can be quite tight. Okay, all right. Another one too. A lot of people get their adductors get quite tight as well. So they're the muscles up the inside here. So what we can do is sit that roller down like that. Get yourself over the roller, leg out to the side, and you can just roll yourself backwards and forwards there. So that's a great one for there. They're quite a difficult one to get to, but that makes it a bit easier there. So you've got the long adductors, which go all the way down to the knee. So having that straight leg helps you target those ones. And again, you can sort of roll your leg around a little bit. You can put your toes down, or you can bring them up a little bit, depending on where you feel you need more rolling. Okay. If you want to target the short adductors, you can actually bend that knee. Probably bring this roller up a little bit higher there, and you'll find you can target them. So that's a good one too. So just spending a couple of minutes there, just being careful not to go through too much pain. You just want to bring it to a comfortable level of tolerance, no more than about 7 out of 10. Rolling that. Alright. So what we can do after that. Another area where people get particularly tight is the ITB, the iliotibial band. So that runs down that lateral side down here. So particularly if you're getting any medial knee pain, any knee pain sort of on the inside there, quite often this can be quite tight and all on the outside here, which sort of pulls in here and can stretch the stuff on the inside there. So what you can do for this one, probably the most commonly used exercise for the roller here. Get yourself on top of the roller there. Okay, get your leg up here, and what we're doing, actually using this leg here just to roll yourself backwards and forwards. So just leaning my weight on this arm and just moving myself here, and you can just roll yourself up and down. Now if that's tight, that can be quite painful, that one. And as I said, we don't really want to go past that sort of 7 out of 10 pain threshold. If you go through too much pain, you'll find that your muscles will kind of tense up a little bit, and they won't want to release. So just ease into it. Your muscles will start to relax over time. So take it easy to start with. Even at the start of that 2 minutes, take it easy, and then as you sort of build into it, you'll find your tolerance will get up, and the muscles will start to relax a little bit. On this lateral side, what you've actually got here is fascia, so it's not actually muscle, it's a band of fascia which runs down there, so that can get particularly tight. So this is a great one here. Yeah, mine's a little bit tight there, so this can be quite painful, this one. So just don't go through too much pain, but just roll that out, and that can make an enormous difference there. Okay. Once you've done that one, another good one to do is your quadriceps. So you've got 4 quadricep muscles. The biggest one over the top here, you've got rectus femoris, which actually goes over the hip and the knee joint. So that's generally the tightest one on most people. So what we want to do there, get that roller there, get yourself over the side, and I'm just rolling myself backwards and forwards there. So I'll show you on this side what I'm doing. That's going there. This leg is just going out to the side, and I'm just rolling myself backwards and forwards. Just roll it backwards and forwards there. And you don't want to go over your knee, just sort of go up down to just above your kneecap there, and then sort of just up, sort of to where just before you get a bit of bone there. So it's about there. Yeah, that's pretty good there. So what you want to do after that one, you can target the other muscles there. So the other 3 muscles you got, vastus medialis, vastus lateralis, and vastus intermedius. So basically, medialis, as the name suggests, is on the medial side, and then vastus lateralis is on the lateral side. So for medialis there, what you can do, just get that medial side of your leg there, and we're just rolling that backwards and forwards there. So if you want to hit more the oblique area, which is the bit closer to the knee, you can sort of just bring that knee a little bit closer and just roll that backwards and forwards through there. Okay? So again, depending on how tight you are, spend a couple of minutes through there. If you want to get more onto that lateral side, again, just move yourself into more of a lateral position there. Very similar to when you were doing the ITB there. So get yourself in there, and you can roll yourself around a little bit, so I'm a little bit more on the front there. And then you can get yourself around to the back there as well. So ITB band runs basically straight down the side. You can access your rectus, your vastus lateralis there, just by sort of rolling around there. So I'm sort of hitting that posterior area there, and then we can move more to the anterior area as well, just by rolling over that way. So that's a great one there. Yeah, this is great. This will make you feel a lot better. It's an excellent thing to do before you actually do a bit of a stretch as well. So if you can do this prior to a stretch, you find you will get a little bit further with your stretches too. So a lot of the time with your stretching, your biggest restriction will be the fascia, which surrounds the muscles. So by doing something like this before you stretch, you'll find that it lengthens all that out, and it'll make your stretch a lot more effective. Thanks a lot. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and have a great day.